Hello you lot, this is Keef Cooks, I'm Keef, and today I'm going to do a proper British Indian restaurant style curry lamb bhuna. So the other day I was sitting in my office minding my own business and the postman unexpectedly knocked on the door and handed me a parcel that contained this. Da-da-da, the curry guy Dan Toombs Bible. So this is, he describes it as his greatest hits. It's a whole lot of recipes rejigged for a new book, plus about 50 new ones. So British Indian restaurants have kind of evolved a style, a method of working that enables them to get, you know, really beautiful tender beef or chicken or lamb onto your table within like 10-15 minutes of you ordering it. So obviously basically there's a lot of preparation goes into it up front. So there's a base curry sauce which is actually more like an onion gravy. It doesn't have anything hot in it, and pre-cooking the meat. So once you've done those two little tasks, actually putting the lamb bhuna together takes 10 minutes of prep and 10 minutes of cooking, and that's it, and then it's done. If you enjoy this video, give it a like, share, subscribe, etc. and let's get going with that lamb bhuna. Let's run through the ingredients. We've got just over a kilo of lamb shoulder. You could use any kind of lamb, best if it's got the bone in because of flavour. 2 large onions and a heck of a lot of herbs and spices. A couple of tablespoons of rapeseed oil, that's canola oil. Okay, plate 1, we've got 5 whole cloves, 10 green cardamom pods, a tablespoon of coriander seeds and a tablespoon of cumin seeds and a chunk of, well, we call it cinnamon, it's actually cassia bark, this. On to plate 2. We've got a tablespoon of paprika, optionally a tablespoon of mild chili powder, half teaspoon of sea salt, 3 bay leaves and a teaspoon of mace. Alright, moving on. Tablespoon of garam masala and a couple of tablespoons of ginger garlic paste, which on this occasion I'm making myself. Now we need to do quite a bit of prep, so first thing to do is peel and finely dice the onion. Now I need to peel the ginger and the garlic and mince them and make them into a paste. And there's my ginger garlic thing. I wouldn't really call it a paste, but you know, it's a mélange, a mixture. I've also crushed the cardamom pods with back a knife, like that. And all that remains to do, well, before we start cooking, is chop this lamb into cubes. So we're trying to get as close to the bone as we can, as it were, but we won't get all of it until it's been cooking for a bit, and then it'll be easier to just get the last bits of meat off it. Okay, big pile of meat. I'm surprised how much meat there is on that. Shoulder is generally quite, you know, ropey. Now then, ingredients for the base curry sauce. I've got 4 onions, that's 600 grams of onions, a small red bell pepper, or you know, a quarter of a big one, a whole tomato, a bigger one would be better, but that's all I've got. 2 tablespoons of rapeseed oil, canola oil, and a whole bunch of spices. So I've got a tablespoon of ginger and garlic, imagine that's paste, half teaspoon of ground cumin, except I haven't because I've got cumin seeds. Also a quarter teaspoon of ground fenugreek. Again, I haven't got the ground, I've got seeds, but that'll be fine. And half teaspoon of ground coriander. I'm not doing very well with the ground spices here. A quarter teaspoon of ground turmeric, yes, and half teaspoon of ground paprika. We need to peel and finely dice the onions and the carrot and the red bell pepper. I said carrot, didn't I? I'm completely losing the plot. It's a sprout. So now we're going to cook the base curry sauce. You need to heat a couple of tablespoons of rapeseed oil in a saucepan or a frying pan, and when it's hot, toss in the onions and the red bell pepper. And cook those for about 5 minutes till they're softened but not browned. Then add everything else and fry for about 30 seconds, and then add 1 cup of water. Now simmer this for 10 to 15 minutes till the water's all evaporated and the veggies are soft. Now I was going to use my big blender to make this smooth, but it decided not to play. I'm using the stick blender, which is a lot less efficient. Now the mixture there has had 1 cup of water added to it. This could take some time. Okay, that's about as smooth as I can get it. To that, add possibly 2 cups of water. Just stir in the first one. We're looking for something that's the consistency of full cream milk. So you can portion that up and freeze it, or well, we'll see. I'm going to use some tomorrow when I make the actual lamb bhuna. Okay, the meat had an hour and a half, plus just sitting there waiting for me to get my act together. So I'll just fish out the bone, and then we want to separate the meat from all the herbs and spices and things. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that. Okay, I'll pop them in there and then just pull out the lumps with a fork. Okay, that'll work. Might take all night, but it will work. Oh, that meat is so tender. Alright, there's all the meat. Looking pretty fab. Now I'm just going to strain the liquid. And when they've cooled down, I'll stick them in the fridge, and we will continue working on them tomorrow because it's knocking off time. Okay, to make our lamb bhuna, British Indian restaurant style, I've got another ton of ingredients. Thank you, Dan. In fact, not all of them are as specified in the book. I'm sorry, I tried, but there are limits. Anyway, 3 tablespoons of ghee or flavoured oil or rapeseed oil. I would have done ghee, but we're trying to do healthy fat. A small onion, finely chopped. A quarter of a red bell pepper. 2 teaspoons of ginger garlic paste. I went shopping this morning, so I've got actual proper garlic paste and proper, well, ginger puree. I couldn't get them both mixed together, but that doesn't really matter, does it? 2 tablespoons of fresh coriander stalks. Half a cup of tomato puree. And now the next 2 things, completely wrong. I'm going to use, you're supposed to have 2 tablespoons of mixed powder, which you can't buy, you have to make it up yourself. I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of curry powder. I will put the full contents of that mixed powder in the written recipe so you can see, but basically you end up with 15 tablespoons of this powder, and you need 2 of them. I'm not doing it, Dan, I'm not. And the other thing is tandoori masala, which I missed when I went shopping. So it's supposed to be tandoori masala. I'm going to use good old garam masala. Alright, back to the programme. 800 grams of your pre-cooked lamb, plus 1 cup of the stock that it was cooked in. Isn't that beautiful? Wibbly wobbly, wibbly wobbly. I love it. And 500 ml of the base curry sauce that we made yesterday. Greek yogurt style, 2 tablespoons of that. Salt and pepper to taste. A small bunch of coriander leaves, finely chopped. And then the juice of a lime or 2. And optionally, slices of red chili. Now, according to Dan, this takes 10 minutes prep and 10 minutes cooking. So here we go. Okay, need to do a bit of prep, which is to finely chop the things that need to be finely chopped. The coriander stalks and leaves and the onion. There we go. You don't actually want to see me chop coriander, because... Do you? Alright, a couple of glugs of rapeseed oil. When it's hot, we'll add the onion and the red pepper. And we'll let those cook for about 5 minutes. Then we add the ginger garlic paste and the coriander stalks. Just let those cook for 30 seconds. Then add the tomato puree. Stir that around, get it hot and bubbling. Then we'll add the mixed powder. And the tandoori masala. 2 tablespoons of each. Now add 250 ml of the base curry sauce. Turn the heat up. Let that bubble away for a couple of minutes. Now we'll add the meat. The rest of the base curry sauce. And the gravy or the stock from cooking the meat. First of all, get it all mixed together and then let it cook until the sauce is reduced and really thick, because one thing about a bhuna is it's not dripping in sauce, it's quite a dry curry. Okay, that's most of the sauce reduced. Now I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of Greek style yogurt. And I don't know what's happened to the lens on here, or to the zoom factor, because we had the whole pan in before and now we haven't. Anyway, not the end of the world. Okay, let's have a little taste, see if it needs salt and pepper. That's nice. A bit of salt though. And now it's time to plug the microphone in.
Okay.
And now it's tasty testy timey with Mrs. E. Keefy Cookie. What?
Has he been on the spices or what?
Curry.
Oh, I tell you what, the whole house has this wonderful warm sort of flavour going on.
Spicy wicey.
Yeah.
Timey wimey. I'll shut up. Eventually.
I'll tell you what, I'm not going anywhere near those.
Wimp.
Yeah, well, you can have them all, darling. I wouldn't deprive you.
Good to me.
Okay.
Yep. Cold. Very authentic.
Proper authentic taste test experience, I can tell you. Ooh. Well, I'll tell you what, that meat is so soft. And oh, there's all sorts going on. I'm perfectly happy. I've just knocked off work in the living room because still working remotely. And look, it's taste test time. I'm busy.
I can finish it later.
Oh, all right then.
Okay. Thank you for watching and see you next time.